Hello, viewers. Recently, two elderly statesmen passed on almost in the same week. The other one 14th, I think the other one 16th or 17th or 18th of February 2025. Pa Adebanjo, oh, the man I so much respect. The one I so much respect is late. And the Afenifere guy is wonderful. And I'm happy he died at a very old age. May his soul rest in peace. I will also say rest in peace to Pa Edwin Clarke. It's as if, it's time for us to go. People in their age mates. And the two of them left. But I saw a post on social media, Facebook in particular, where an AREWA group posted something like this. Look at it. Look at it. They said, enemy of AREWA, rest in peace. And the page is called AREWA Republic or so. They posted it. They said they will later talk about why they had to put things like this. Normally, when you see the passage of somebody, we say rest in peace. Even though we may not like the person some of the times, but we say rest in peace, let the person go. But they did not say rest in peace. Look at what they did. They wrote, enemy of AREWA, rest in hell. And the guy promised to give reasons in a letter post why the North should not celebrate, why the North should not hail the man who has gone. Now, here is the post. I want to look at it. You know why I'm looking at this post? Because it concerns us too. What he stands for, and some of what he represents, is what I also identify with. And I believe many from southern Nigeria, and especially the Igbo people who feel oppressed in this country, many of them agrees with this. Now, let's look at why the North, or this AREWA Republic group, thinks the North should not wish Edwin Clark a good rest. Look at one. You've seen this one, enemy of AREWA. They say rest in hell. Now, look at this second one. They are citing times while he was alive when he opposed the North. Now look at this, posted by Channels TV. According to them, Clark to Northern governors, stop arrogance of power. Tax reforms must go on. There was a time they don't want tax reform. I think this was recent when Tinubu was talking about tax reforms, though I also have a problem with that tax reform as if it was to favor Lagos alone. Now let's get to another. Okay, this one is on restructuring, posted by Punch newspaper. Look at what is written there. Why North develops cold feet over restructuring? Edwin Clark. This is also our position. We people of the Southeast. Why is the northern part of the country drawing everybody back? Why are they just fixated or clinging to what suits them alone? And that is why I asked, is Nigeria their private property? What is their contribution to Nigeria? So I support what Edwin Clark said here actually. Why wouldn't Nigeria restructure? Why is the northern states opposed to restructuring of Nigeria? Okay, you don't want some people to live, to have their own nation, and you don't want to restructure it. Why must you tie everybody down in the name of one Nigeria? How it pleases you. Now, some people want to leave. Some say, okay, we will stay, but restructure this country. And can you imagine, for this particular saying of Edwin Clark, they are telling the North to hate him. Can you imagine how these guys reason? Now, let's look at another. This one says, Nigeria will crash with current domination by northern region. Of course, it will crash. It will crash. We still ask, is Nigeria a personal property of northern people? Why would they not dominate everything? Are we talking about northern Nigeria or Nigeria as a whole. Why must everything be the North? The North has ruled this country from 1960, from the time of independence. Obasanjo only had an opportunity due to Modi Tara Mohammed's coup, a coup that ousted him. Before you know it, there was an election. Obasanjo handed over back to a Northerner. At the end of the day, through a coup, another Northerner, Buhari, removed the Northerner. Afterward, another Northerner removed Buhari in a military regime. Then, they paved way for Abacha. Shonekon was just head of the Senate, I think so. So, he was meant to head the interim, should I say interim government. He spent a little while there. They did not hand over to him. They are paving way for Abacha, but they did not directly, Abacha go. So Abacha came and took power from Shonekon. After Abacha died in office, what happened? Abdul Salam, another Northerner. Then they gave it to Obasanjo. Igbo man has not still ruled this country. Nobody from Niger Delta has ruled this country. Then Obasanjo gave it to Yar'Adua. By God's doing, okay. Fate happened. Yar'Adua died. Jonathan, first time from that area, become president. When Jonathan was ruling, it was as if the North will tear everywhere down. To them, Jonathan is not qualified to rule this country. Meanwhile, it is from Jonathan's area, Niger Delta, that Nigeria makes its foreign exchange. The major foreign exchange for Nigeria, which is crude oil, is from Jonathan's area. And Jonathan, by grace of God, Jonathan became president. These guys were like, oh, they almost hacked him down. Why should he rule? Yet, whatever is taking care of Nigeria is from their region. What percentage does the North contribute? They want to tear Jonathan down. They did all they could. And Buhari came and destroyed this country. A country we were managing. Buhari from the North again came and destroyed this country totally. Whatever you see happening now was caused by Buhari. The destruction was so enormous. And people like Edwin Clark has always been at the side, speaking up, wanting something for his people, wanting a change, wanting a balance. Equal right and justice is what he campaigned for, wanting something for his people. And can you imagine an AREWA blog, an AREWA site on Facebook? Can you imagine what they are posting as their reason for hating this man? Look at what they are posting. Very unnecessary, very unreasonable. Let's get to Tribune newspaper. Look at the headline. Power shift. South won't vote if APC and PDP pick Northern candidates. Now look at it again. All through, it was the North that has been ruling Nigeria. And he said that PDP and APC should not pick Northern candidates. Give others the opportunity to also rule this country. That is what he's implying. Power should shift. The top candidates for the political parties should come from other places that have not tested power. Igbo people have not ruled this country since its inception. Apart from Jonathan, no Niger Delta person. And he wants a power shift. And for this, they are calling him enemy of the North. This is what the AREWA blog promised to show his people. Giving them reason to hate the man that you should say just, oh sir, rest in peace, rest in peace. I'm not really a fan of Edwin Clark, but I will say rest in peace. Now, for they who feels Edwin Clark is their enemy, and he decided to share his reasons, I have come to look at the nonsense reasons he is giving, the uncalled for reasons. Can you imagine? Look at their complaints for hating Edwin Clark. Now look at this headline. How Northern PDP leaders ousted Jonathan from power in 2015. Edwin Clark. Of course, who ousted Jonathan from power? Who ousted him? We saw your body language, the North, we saw everything. Who ousted Jonathan from power? The North doesn't want Jonathan. They colluded, even people from his government. They colluded. And they brought Buhari, who destroyed this country. All of what they have given as reasons for them to hate Edwin Clark are baseless. They don't make sense. I thought they would provide something reasonable, but all I'm seeing is, oh my God. So for this reason, somebody wanting a balance, they should hate him. Can you imagine what the AREWA blog is promoting? Let's see another one. Now, this is one of the most striking one. Pa Edwin Clarke said, keeping Nnamdi Kanu in detention is unfair. And that is right. What Pa Edwin Clarke said is very right and very correct. Why must Nnamdi Kanu remain in detention? When we understand that Nnamdi Kanu in detention is why there is the insecurity in Southeast has heightened. And an elder statesman was suggesting keeping him further in detention is unfair. How many Boko Haram leaders are in detention? The ones who are actually the nuisance in this country. How many of them are in detention? The ones who destroyed this country, how many of them are in detention? The ones who are living in our forests, who are causing nuisances, who are striking from our forests, how many of them are in detention? The other day we had an army officer saying, if a Boko Haram member repents, he can be president. But you keep Nnamdi Kanu, who declares himself a freedom fighter, you keep him in custody. And Edwin Clark is saying his detention is unfair. And also having the understanding that his detention was the reason the insecurity in Southeast has heightened. And Edwin Clark said keeping him in detention is unfair. And a northern group is posting things like this to instigate other northerners to hate Edwin Clark. These guys have problem. They have serious problem. They don't even know where their problem is coming from. Now look at another one. On RUGA. Edwin Clark, Adebanjo, Nwodo slam northern group over call on Fulani to leave southern Nigeria. Can you imagine? This is another reason they are giving to hate Edwin Clark. And perhaps they are hating on Pa Adebanjo as well. And Nwodo. In the past, the Fulani herdsmen moved their cattle. We never had problems. It came to a point they were carrying guns. They destroy your plants, your crops, and you protest, they kill you. About the same time, the farmers, the people in the south who they have not allowed to farm, who they have not allowed to do certain things they are doing to earn a living, started protesting, leave our land for the sake of peace. And people like Edwin Clark are, as an elder statesman, he's advising Nigeria is in a dire situation. Crisis could arise, and we have been seeing things like that. And he said, this is the solution. And AREWA blog is posting it, instigating other Northerners to hate him. Hey! And sincerely, you cannot, somebody cannot be suggesting RUGA, considering how the headsmen have behaved. Nobody will want RUGA. It is not because anyone hates Fulani headsmen or no. People are actually trying to protect their lives, knowing how these people have behaved more recently. Nobody wants to die. We know how they operate. And when people are telling you they should be on their own side, after all, the land in the north is massive and bigger than that of the south. Why encroaching on us? Now let's look at another. Bandits, others created by Jonathan's enemies, Edwin Clarke. You heard of the common baboon and monkey we soak in blood. You had recent exposition on US aid. What are we saying again? Is Edwin Clarke wrong on that? Who created the bandits? Who opened door for certain people to come in and do politics with them? Who opened door for them to come and vote so that he will oust the incumbent Jonathan as at then? Who created bandits? Are they created by Southerners? Who created them? Who had a deal with them? So why blame Edwin Clarke for saying what is true? Because most of what Edwin Clarke has said and others from the southern part of the country is what they see. The observation they make. Who created bandits? Abinami create them. Na Igbo people create them. Na Niger Delta people create them. Na Yoruba people create bandits. Who created bandits? Let's get to another. Clarke chastises President Northern elders for silence on jihadist threat to Delta. Edwin Clarke belongs to the area. Delta is part of his area where he represents actually. And of course, he should want something good for Delta people. Of course, he should make sure that there is no security situation in Delta. The other day, we shared a video here of how Fulani headsmen, herders group, occupied a particular forest in Delta State, Oshimiri. Please, I want to ask a question. Do the southern people of Nigeria, the Igbo people, the Yoruba people, or the Niger Delta people, do they reside in any forest in the north? When they come to the north, what do they do? They rent places, they pay money. They live with the people in the north. They live where other people live. So why will you camp yourself in the forest? And you saw recent attacks in Delta State by headsmen. What do you make of that? And someone is protesting that you people are killing them. And he should keep quiet. He is an enemy of the North or enemy of, I don't understand. Hey! So Edwin Clarke should keep silent when everything is going wrong. When there is an invasion of the place he represents. You guys, You guys, I am praying that this country will be split. That is my prayer. In case you don't know, this country should be split. We are not supposed to be together. We are not supposed to be together. You guys need to be on your own. This is simple truth. And this will solve this problem. Because it is only in the name of one Nigeria that you'll be making such claims. That some people will be allowed to reside in the forest at the backyard of other people's house and launch attacks from there. And somebody complains. They said he's the enemy of the North. And they're trying to pull the whole of northern Nigeria against these people. We will soon round up. There are so many of them. And all of their complaints and all of what they have posted or shared to hate Edwin Clarke and probably hate Edwin Clarke's people are inconsequential and nonsense. Now look at this one. Edwin Clarke to Tinubu. No one can play God over Nigeria. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu for national peace. And that is one of the best advice. No one can play God over Nigeria. As you do to Adamu Garba, do it to Okonkwo Okeke. If we want to talk about this, who are the people who have committed the most crimes in Nigeria? If you want to say Nnamdi Kanu committed crime. Now, if releasing Nnamdi Kanu will help the situation in Southeast, will help curb insecurity in the region, is that not a wise decision? So, what does this set of people want? What does this set of people want? Here is another one. Niger Delta leader Pa Clarke knocks northern elites over calls for amnesty for bandits. They are angry at Edwin Clarke because he said they shouldn't call for amnesty for bandits. These are same people who are saying Nnamdi Kanu should not be released. Nnamdi Kanu is not even a bandit. According to Nnamdi Kanu, he wants the freedom of his people. Now, these particular northern people are calling for amnesty for bandits. And some of these bandits have been released. Now, they don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. And a voice in Niger Delta is telling them, why will you call for amnesty for bandits? And they are angry. I hope you are seeing reasons they are giving to hate Edwin Clarke. Can you imagine? Now, here is another one. Buhari did everything to subjugate Igbos during his administration, according to Edwin Clarke. Of course, same president of a country calling us dot in a circle. Why not allow that dot in a circle to go? Remember, while he was doing his rail line, Southeast was cut off. He said some people gave him 5%. How can he give them equal development, equal allocation of resources? Federal government projects will not be put in places of people who gave him 5%. Can you imagine? Yes, he did subjugate the Igbos, the Southeast. Is there any argument about that? Edwin Clarke was only saying the obvious. How did Buhari treat the Southeast? Hello, viewers. Please help me to check on all that we have shared here as from AREWA Republic AREWA blog. Look at it properly. Do you think Edwin Clarke was wrong to point out all of that? Can you imagine? This is the reason given by the so-called AREWA blog, telling the North not to wish the man who is late a rest in peace. Can you imagine? You know why I shared it too is because the stand of Edwin Clarke on these matters is also our stand. And perhaps now then Sabi waiting the one wish us. We already know we are in Nigeria. We are watching. Can you imagine why they are spreading hate against a man who doesn't even know what they are saying again? Now, Edwin Clarke will rest in peace. And if it is true that people will not rest in peace because of what other people say, then it shouldn't be what the North says that will stop Edwin Clarke from resting in peace. It is a matter of, did Edwin Clarke treat his people well? It is the wishes of his people that will decide whether he will rest in peace or not, if that is the case, not what the North says. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. This is rubbish. I thought they would make sense. Please share this video widely. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I am Azuka OJ. Bye bye for now.